good afternoon, Jen, shall I say.
Good
It is the
afternoon, good
afternoon.
afternoon. Ja, dis hy in Joburg, it's afternoon, so.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about Cape Town, eh? Maybe it's morning there.
Hey, I've still got a long day.
Yeah, exactly. And Dave, and how was your weekend in Cape Town, eh?
Good. It was filled with social obligations and some property coaching. Spent some time with John and Kashni here in Cape Town. Just
Cool.
getting their portfolio moving forward. Got some deals in the pipeline. Friday, I met with Darren
Awesome.
Francis. We got some plans that we can discuss a little later. That was fun. And you guys had a busy weekend up in Joburg with the Soweto events. How did that go?
Yeah, it was just out of this world, eh, Dave? It was amazing, hey, Dad?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. We had amazing speakers. Jabu Zwane, Nondumiso, Lebo Gunguluza, Rali. Geez, the list goes on. And a lot of people turned up. Vuiso was there. Geez. And yeah, it was just
Powerful
humbling.
stuff,
Powerful. I left it really motivated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and as you know, Dave, I was over in the UK. I got back late Friday night. I had Daniel at my house at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. We picked up Victor. Victor's one of my students who's going to start a clothing brand, hopefully, which will be really awesome. And we made our way to Soweto. We got there 7 a.m. on the dot. As you all know, it's Youth Month, and we ran a Youth Month with Daniel and all this and Sapin Youth. Just a huge success, which we'll talk about a bit more. But if you have just joined us, you've joined our coffee chat. Andrew, Dave, and Dan's on with us again today, which is awesome. If you have any property questions, let us know. Anything if you are a youth member, let us know where you're from, Joburg, Cape Town, Durban. If you don't have any friends or colleagues that are interested in property, tag them and let them know. Give us some love, share, and share the word. What we'll do in a minute, Dave will take us through the events that are coming up. In June, July. It's a fairly quiet month, I'd say. And then we'll talk about Soweto. We might be bringing on another guest speaker with us today. We'll see if she is going to join us. Come off part of Westie Besties. So, Dave, who is on with us?
100%. Chat's still a little bit quiet. Everyone's still waking up because it's still morning, apparently, at least in Cape Town. Henry's with us. Yaku is joining from Belgium, as always. Guys, if you are in the chat box, drop a message, say hello. Dan and Andrew and I will take some questions a little bit later. So if you've got some questions, it's a good time to put those in the chat box.
Cool. I'm going to log in here and see. Has Camel managed to join yet or not yet?
No, not yet, but that's good. I can quickly run through some events. I'm just trying to see where the background noise is coming from. That's cool.
No worries.
Romeo's joining us in. Otherwise,
hey, Romeo, good to see you. Yeah.
That's good. Just looking at some events that are coming up in the next couple of days. Tomorrow, there is an event in Port Elizabeth. So Jade's going to be out in PE hosting our PE event. I'm going to get you a link for that in a second.
Oh, yeah, PE. Is it a casual event, eh?
Yeah, just a casual networking event like we did in Cape Town a couple of weeks ago. It's a really good opportunity to just, push everyone out of their comfort zones, get back to in-person networking, get out from behind Zoom.
Yeah, definitely. Is anybody from PE on this call? Let us know if you are from PE or East London or around that area, or if you know of anyone, join Jay. When is it, Dave? On Tuesday night?
Yeah, tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, that's going to be happening. So for those of you who are out in PE, it's a really good opportunity to meet some investors and just network. I know PE's been feeling a little unloved with all the Joburg events happening, so it's time to catch up.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Good. A little further afield, we have a coffee chat again next week, as always. And then next week, Thursday, is our mastermind. So for our professional and intermediate members, as well as our youth members, we have a mastermind on the 23rd. It's a really good opportunity to sit down, set some goals, and do some planning with other property investors. And if you've got some questions and problems, then Andrew and I are usually there to answer and help you guys move forward. That's it for the next 2 weeks, though. Bit of a quiet time, and then we got quite a lot happening in July, which maybe we'll talk about the high-level July plans a little bit later. But that'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think let's come back to Daniel, eh? Sapin Youth. Are there any youth guys on this call right now? Let us know. And who was at the Soweto event with us on Saturday? Let us know. I think, Dan, we had over 100 people at the event at the Soweto Theatre. And you listed some of the speakers early. earlier on. Dan, what did you get out of it? Was anything you learned or that you got out of it? And then we'll bring on
Yeah,
Kamu.
definitely. Definitely. I absolutely loved being at the event. Just something else, we might be coming to the Northwest as well later this month. For anyone in the Northwest, that's going to be cool. And yeah, Saturday was just amazing, inspirational. I learned so much. Uma Standi and Tough 21 actually partnering with us on this event and literally understanding their model in townships, how they finance opportunities. That was good to see. I learned so much. I must say my favorite speaker was Vuyiswa. So from a leadership point of view, what to do, what not to do, what leadership means. And it was just, geez, amazing. I learned so much. Non-Dumi. So there was just too many people, and I loved every single second of it. And yourself, Andrew?
Yeah, no, the same, man. I mean, there were great speakers, rally stories, very inspirational. From flipping a development, essentially making millions in his first deal, to what he's doing now. I think it's inspirational, and just it shows you that anybody can do this. And we had Kamu there as well. Hey, Kamu, how are you?
Hi, Kamu.
Hi. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm Kamu. I'm part of the Sapin Youth, and I was at the event on Saturday. So I'm part of the business development program. So I also attended the Sapin event in Soweto. I must say it was quite an exceptional day, very insightful. Yes, part of the Westie Besties.
Yeah. Now the Westies Besties did a presentation, didn't you? And Daniel, I believe that you left out the eastern levels. Huh?
Yeah, so the Westie Besties did a presentation. The Eastern levels were terrified. They couldn't take it. They were really terrified. But yeah, I'll let Kamu tell everyone a bit about the Westie Besties and where are you guys located? What do y'all do?
What's your strategy? Where are you going?
Okay, so the Westie Besties are part of the Westie Besties. It's myself, Nalorona Barre Vuisilekala. We are based in the and we are a tech-based letting agency through the assistance. So what we do is we assist landlords with managing properties. So we assist them with their tenants. We assist them with advertising their properties on the best platforms just to make it easy for them and just through the Preventer app. We just want to be there for them.
Absolutely. And then Daniel, just to give a context for everyone else, let's talk about the 17 entrepreneurs, the 5 teams, the competition that we're running for them, just for all the new people on the call.
Yeah, awesome. So Sapin Youth has 2 initiatives, namely the Sapin Youth membership. That's any youngster can get involved for as little as 97 Rand a month. And then we have the development program. The development program is only for select few every year. We are taking about 20 a year. So these need to be highly motivated individuals we feel have what it takes to make it in the property industry, but just not as a property investor per se, but as a property entrepreneur. So we've got 17 this year. They've set up businesses, they business partners, and amongst those 17 is the Westie Besties and Kamuhelo Mulefe, and their business is around being a letting agent. So powered by Preferential, they bring the tech base and literally they themselves, right? So they will help landlords, like Kamu said. They offer everything Preferential does offer, and they are literally there to facilitate viewings and everything else. So there are many more businesses. I know PM Properties, they are a project management company where they project manage any sort of deal. So from a little renovation, they are working with Mark Berman now to start project managing developments and more exciting things. And there's also the Property Junkies that focus on township development, and they're going to be partnering with Umastandi and literally build back rooms and manage it as well. So it's not just about property investment per se, it's about property entrepreneurship. I hope it makes sense, huh?
Yeah, 100%, eh? And aren't you doing something with private property this month?
Yeah, so later today, firstly, I'm having a podcast with private property. So everyone on here, it will be awesome if you can just jump on there and show some SAP and love. And then, yeah, we are looking to having something special for Youth Month around property entrepreneurship. So that's going to be exciting.
Nice.
Excellent. Sounds good. Who are we seeing out there, Dave? Are there any questions coming through? Any comments about the property market? What does everyone think is going to happen? Prices going up, prices going down?
Couple of people a little bit sad that they missed the events. We got Vincent who said he had work on Saturday. Yaku said the event was good. Sorry, getting a lot of feedback over there and some general successes. So no questions as of yet. If you guys have any questions, do feel free to send those through. Just seeing a few things come through now.
And Jeromia, what is he saying?
I'm reading that. Jerome learned a lot from the events. He got to know what some property investors. Him and Jabu spoke at the planning meeting. So it's a lot of good, a lot of motivation. Jerome is not feeling lost. I think a lot of guys can identify with that. When you get started in property investments, you can get a little lost, a little get overwhelmed. So it's good to see that we've got that in the bag.
Definitely. Okay, cool, man. Now tell me, Kamal, how are you feeling about everything at the moment in the property space? Are you motivated? Are you nervous? Are you scared? What's the biggest thing holding you back in your team?
Well, at first I was a bit scared. I must. I didn't know what to expect. You know, as week Daniel was there throughout the entire time. We had weekly calls, and he was just guiding us throughout this entire journey. And I must say, it's going well. It's going well, actually. We're looking forward to really expanding as a group to really just go in the deep side now, you know. But
Yeah.
it's been I must say.
Yeah. That's awesome, eh? And what makes the journey easier is when you work together as a team, when you try and not do this thing alone. And get the guidance and the help, and that's why we're so fortunate to have players like Absa Bank, GovChain, hopefully Bolt, and a few other corporates coming on board, just to help you guys. It's not an easy journey, though, is it?
No,
it's not. It's not an easy journey. Let me make reference to Saturday. You know, on Saturday, assisted by Bolt, right? And obviously, and we don't own cars. So Bolt was able to the participation, and the fact that we're working in a group is more easier because if I need someone to not a shoulder to cry on per se, but just someone to just lean on, I've got my two group members who are there. If I'm lost with any, I've got them. If we've got questions for Daniel, we can all just bombard him with the question. And I think it's better doing it as a group than as an individual.
Yeah, 100%. It makes life so much easier. And then between the 17 entrepreneurs, we're saying there's 5 groups. And we said the group that does the best in 2022 will get a holiday trip to Cape Town, where you'll see Dave, which will be awesome. We take Dave to the beach.
Drag me out of my office, kicking and screaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that.
It will be so much fun, man. Okay, cool.
And
so
Investor of the Year as well, huh? So so we are having Investor of the Year. I know Sapin has been running it for the third year now, Andrew.
Yeah, this is the 4th time we're doing it with some new exciting categories. We've just got to finalize how that's all going to work. But Dan, we've added in the Sapin Youth, haven't we?
Yeah, so Sapin Youth will have 2 separate categories. being the business of the year. So any single youth member that is running a business in a property sector, that's going to be cool, as long as it was started this year, or maybe we might be lenient to when it was started. But running a successful business, we are going to have a separate entry for Investor of the Year, and Best Youth Deal of the Year is also an exciting addition.
Yeah, no, definitely, and we will be launching it. Investor of the Year. It won't formally launch in June. I'd say more like July, where we're running the final event in August 2023. And it's just going to be super exciting, having people like Kamo, all the youth entering. And like you said, Daniel, it's not just about the investment itself, the property. Also, if you're starting up a business. And then we've got all the other categories like student accommodation, multi-lets, flipping. So we'll probably open entries, I'm guessing, around August, once we finalize everything this month. August, September, start getting the entries coming in. And just make it a bigger and better event. So I want encourage everyone that's doing any property deal to definitely join in. But just watch the space, stay close to Sapin and Investor of the Year. And we'll give you more details as we go along. And can you believe it? We're halfway through the year. We're in June already. Before we know it, they'll be selling Christmas presents and Christmas trees and lights in a few months' time. And so we're going to start thinking about what's the plan for the next 6 months. What is it? What is everyone doing? There's talk of us already slipping into a recession. We just don't actually see it. But I was chatting to someone yesterday from the banks, and it's already happening. I see I got an email from my dad there with a report from Melville Douglas, which isn't looking good at all. So I think we're all going to start looking at the next 6 months, the next 12 months. How's it going to look? Making sure we've all got cash flow. But it's coming, and it's a sad reality. What's your take on that, Dave?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot happening in the economy as a whole. I think a nice thing to do is watch the United States and see them as a bit of an early indicator as to what's happening. But South Africa is definitely going to be hit a lot harder. So that's one of those things. We're seeing that decline. The Ukraine war has definitely started to impact us, fuel prices, everything. And unfortunately, it's the knock-on effect that just everything piles on. I do think purchase pricing still staying low, still looks good. So everyone feels optimistic about property because interest rates still feel lower than they are. But at the same time, you need to remember we've gone through, Drew, almost a 4% increase in the past year, which is a lot. So even though dropped so aggressively previously, now coming into the other side of it and swinging fast up doesn't really promote stability for us. So I'm definitely concerned. I'm definitely paying down my debts a little more aggressively than I was a year ago. And that would be my suggestion. If you can,
definitely,
make sure you're covering that's.
Because even in the UK, Dave, I was in England last week, and just speaking to locals and people, their energy prices have literally soared through the roof. I think by 50%, and they're going up again this year per household. Don't quote me on. I think £800 per household, additional to what has gone up. So the UK is already feeling the squeeze a lot with fuel prices and energy prices, and not just by a little bit. You're talking by a lot. So we're seeing in America, we're seeing in England. It's happening here in South Africa, as we know. So we've got to tighten our belts, be very conservative with our cash flows, and make sure that we do look after ourselves and keep up to date with what's happening around the world.
And protect your risk. It's a good time to get rental insurance.
Exactly. Preferential.
It's a good time to grab that quickly. Go to preferential and grab that. I'll put in the link in the chat box. Because the recession is going to start hitting everyday consumers, and that means that your tenants' ability to pay their rent is going to be put in the air. And definitely put some of that risk onto a nice big corporate who's going to be handling that risk for you. It's really good. And there's a link to preferential in the chat box.
Absolutely. Check them out. There's a link there from Dave. Protect your risk 100%, Dave. I agree. We can see there that Carlo's on. Hey, Carlo, good to see you from Cape Town. Love the event. Congratulations. Awesome. Tumasang, is there a coach for Airbnb? Absolutely. Dave, just give the support email address there just for Tumasang to email support at smpropertynetwork.com. Kerry Lee, good to see you. Angelique, good to see you Saturday and Sunday. Got to see you at the Soweto event at the rugby bar yesterday. Good to see you, Ange. I think, Dave, I think it's nice that we're going to go through a fairly quiet period at Saffron TPA. As everyone knows, we have loads of events from development workshops to 2-day workshops to 1-day get started workshops to our masterminds, our support webinars. We do a lot at Saffron and TPA. It's looking like the rest of June and July is looking fairly quiet, which is good. There's still events happening. I mean, in July, Dave, we are planning a mastermind where we'll go away on the Friday night to Dino King outside of Joburg. So all the professional members, if you are a professional member, within the SA Property Investors Network, we do run monthly masterminds. But in July, we are going to go away for a night to the bush, probably have a poikie on the Friday night, and then run a live face-to-face mastermind session in the bush, which will be really cool. And then we're looking at doing an event with Tile Africa at the Tile Africa store in Greenstone, Johannesburg. It's their flagship branch. We're actually due to do a premier event for our intermediate and our professional members in January or March 2020, but then COVID hit and we never got the opportunity. Coming out of COVID, we will now go back to Tile Africa in Greenstone, Johannesburg. You do need to be an intermediate or professional member if you want to join us. That'll be at the end of July, though. So a couple of exciting events happening in July. And then I guess that, Dave, in August, we're looking at running a massive event at the Bryanston Country Club with Absa Bank, all about finance. That's happening in August.
100%.
So, but up until then, fairly quiet. I think, Dave, the mastermind, our next masterminds are next week, Thursday, right?
Just getting back there. Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Thursday the 23rd is our mastermind, and then the week after that, the 30th, is our coaching and legal support webinar. Another thing to talk about is Darren Francis, the 2021 Investor of the Year Award, and myself will be hosting a masterclass out in Cape Town. So for those of you guys who feel like Joburg gets all the love, Cape Town's getting some love too. So Darren and I will be on site viewing a property on one day. So we'll take you through a live deal of Darren's, and then the next day we'll sit in a boardroom, run some numbers, talk about the math, and then have a bit of a mastermind session around property investment as a whole in Cape Town. See where you guys are bumping your head, show you how it's working for us, and we'll get the other people in there to just share what is and isn't working. Sometimes Cape Town's a bit of a different beast than Joburg, so it's going to be good to have those specific conversations. So you can check your email newsletters. That'll be out this week. It'll be a really good opportunity for you to learn about that.
Yeah, it's always good to be hands-on, Dave, actually walking through a property, looking at the condition of the property, what works are you doing, where are you spending your money on the property. So if you're spending Rand, are you getting 50 Rand back, for example? So there'll be a great opportunity for the Cape Townians. And then that reminded me, so Dan, I know you're busy dealing with Dr. Alex Molefe. He's a lecturer at the university out there in Mafeking in Rustenburg. A matter of interest, anybody listening right now, are you from Mafeking or Rustenburg by any chance? Daniel was looking at going out to Mafeking later this month because it's Youth Month and running an event at the actual university itself. Just if you are from Mafeking or Rustenburg, or if you know of anyone there that would love to join a property event later on in June, let us know now. We'll tag them in. Or say, hey, Dan, I'm keen. And then Daniel, when he confirms the dates today or tomorrow, Daniel can give you all the information.
And we might actually come to Cape Town, so Cape Town might get a bit cooler now that yours truly is flying in, Dave.
Dan the man. So there we go. Tuma's son, Dan, is from Mafeking.
Awesome.
Cool. I don't see any other questions. It's pretty quiet in the chat box today.
Cool. Kamo, are there any last things from your side? What advice would you give other youth members now, based on what you've seen?
Okay. So what I would say is, and I said on Saturday that as young people, crisis in South Africa right now, and we have noticed is that self is key in such a time. Like rentals, it's like a definite that you will get. I'd say young people should just hop into property. It's very beneficial, and it's not now. It's like a income for the next 10 years, 15 years. You can pass to the next generation. So I'd say young people should just check Sapin Youth out, and they won't regret it. They definitely won't regret it.
Awesome. Sounds good. So if you do want more information with Sapin Youth, Dan, we can just take them to our website, right? www.sapropertynetwork.com. Click on the memberships button or the tab or the page and scroll down at the top. You'll see that it says Foundation, Intermediate, Professional. Just keep scrolling down and you'll see more information about the Sapin Youth membership. And if you guys want to join Kamo and the rest of the youth team, just speak to Daniel and he'll get you involved, eh? But I think, Dave, it is fairly quiet, like you said. So we'll go to Dan, and then if Dan has nothing else, I think we can call it a wrap, eh?
100%.
Yeah, from my side, I think, like Kamo said, definitely stay close to the fire, join Sapin Youth if you are out there, if you are young and you back yourself to be an entrepreneur. Join Sapin Youth, get yourself educated, get the team, the support, the network around you. And yeah, we'll definitely make you a rock star. Eh? And yeah, thank you so much for having me, Dave and Anzu, on your weekly coffee chats. Highly appreciate it. Eh?
All good, man. Thank you for joining us, Kamo. Thank you, Dan. And yeah, Dave, it was a nice and chilled coffee chat today.
Yeah, that's easy. One of these days, these guys are going to ring us with some questions again there. So if you do have questions, do remember Andrew and I are here every Monday at 1:00. We hop on usually for about 45 minutes if you guys have some more questions for us. And then just a final reminder for those of you who are in PE, the event is tomorrow night. And then there is our mastermind next Thursday. Otherwise, see you guys next Monday. It's going to be good.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kamo team. And we'll speak to you all soon.
All right. Cheers, guys.